have a Thanksgiving story I would like to share with you. I'm not going to be putting up videos teaching you how to cook a turkey. You can find that on butterball.com if you need it. This is just a really sweet story that I think people should hear. Y'all know I went to Princeton Theological Seminary when I was in my 20s. I went for 3 years and got a Master of Divinity. I know, hard to believe, because I don't seem like the ministerial sort. But I did go. I was a born-again Christian, and I went to seminary and got my MDiv. So, anywho, one of my classmates was this retired lady. She had been the superintendent of this very large school district for years, and she retired. So I'm thinking she was around, I don't know, in the 55 to 60 range. So she was starting a whole second career path in the ministry. She was getting her Master of Divinity, and she planned to do a ministry with elderly people. Pretty cool. She was a lovely lady. She grew up during the Depression. And she had quite a few brothers and sisters. She told me it was a very common experience for her that hobos would come to the kitchen door and they would ask for some food. You know, the hobos who would ride the rails, basically. Jobless men who would leave home to try to eke out some kind of existence in the world, do odd jobs, travel around, hoping for the best, you know. So hobos would come to the door asking for food. Now, she said her family did not have a lot of money. So her mama would pass an empty plate around the dinner table, and as it came to each child and each member of the family, everybody would put some food from their own plate onto this plate for the hobo so that he would get a full plate of food. She said they did it all the time. Anytime anyone ever came to the door, they were never turned away without food. Never. Not just on Thanksgiving. This was how they lived their lives throughout the whole Depression. It doesn't specifically pertain to Thanksgiving, but as the Thanksgiving feast approaches us, it always just makes me think to that story. It really moved me when she told me that story. You know, the Depression went on for a long time. So I just think that as Thanksgiving comes, and we're celebrating the season of harvest, and we're celebrating family, and we are being made mindful of all the blessings we have for which we should be thankful, we should just kind of keep a story like that in mind and think, in what way do we share our blessings with other people? But yes, I think in counting your blessings, the next step is, how do I share my blessings with others? Because, you know, they say the economy is improving. I think a lot of people are still suffering. I really do. They say employment is up, but that's because more and more heads of households, more and more single mothers, more and more parents, they're working these really low wage and minimum wage service jobs that were initially kind of designed for teenagers. You know, like working at McDonald's after school for minimum wage, that was supposed to be like a high schooler's first job. People who oppose an elevation to the minimum wage still think of those jobs as these unskilled jobs for teenagers. Unfortunately, the economic landscape in America has completely changed, and those jobs are taken by parents who are trying to provide for their families. And you cannot provide for a family. You can't even support a single person on a minimum wage job, even 2 minimum wage jobs, which, keep in mind, both jobs are going to be part-time, and you're not going to have health insurance. I don't think the economy is as improved as they'd like us to believe, and I think there are a lot of people who are still barely scraping by, if scraping by at all. And also, I think we got to keep in mind, people need help all year long, not just at Thanksgiving and Christmas. You always see these big food drives around the holidays. But But in the middle of the summer, people still need food. I used to work at a homeless shelter, and I found that to be a very prevalent phenomenon in that around the holidays, people love to come by and donate stuff to the homeless shelter. But in the summer, man, we were running out of food. Every day that you wake up is a blessing and is a chance to bless others. But don't forget them the rest of the year. Just keep that metaphorical plate going around the dining table. Give a little bit. Don't turn anybody away.